Accucare Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine in Brick, New Jersey offers a state-of-the-art facility with all the best and current treatments. With athletic trainers, massage therapists, and doctors of physical therapy, Accucare has everything you need to stay healthy and perform at the highest level. Cupping, stretching, laser therapy, compression boots, and a full-body cryo chamber are just some of what you can expect at Accucare. Check out their website and social media links in my bio. No prescription is needed to see them. So call them today and start feeling and performing at your best. Again, thank you to Accucare for sponsoring the Shore Football Report. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Accucare High School Football Preview Show presented by the Shore Football Report. We're going to do the Ocean County edition, and we're going to talk Brick Memorial Mustangs football with longtime head football coach, 16 years, coach. So you're a longtime head coach, Walt Currie. Coach, thanks for coming on the show.
I appreciate you having me.
Coach, 16 years. You are the third longest head football coach in Ocean County. You're a loyal dude. And how important is it for you to be somewhere for that long as a head coach? Because those kids wake up every day knowing that you're going to be there waiting for them as a head coach.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, to provide that kind of consistency, I think is important. Especially now, and especially during COVID, and times are changing, and as times change and people change and all those kinds of things, sometimes it's good to know that kids can wake up and know who their coach is, and I think that providing that kind of consistency, I think, is important.
Yeah, you're a people person, and it's important for you to have, rapport and with all the players and the coaches, and we'll talk more about you in a second. I want to talk about my team first. My team, the Shore Football Report. We have a sponsor, Accucare and Brick, and I think you're familiar with Accucare.
I am.
Pam Anthony, the founder and owner of Accucare, rehabilitation. They're just great with athletes. They really are, with the state-of-the-art equipment they have over there. Coach, tell me something about Accucare that maybe most people wouldn't know.
Well, I think the thing that they do, I think, the best, aside from their professionalism and their expertise in their area, they're also people. They get along with people very well. Pam does an amazing job. She hires a great staff. She herself is a very friendly, obviously a knowledgeable person, an expert in her field. And she just does an unbelievable job around that place. I went there, maybe 14 years ago when I had a back injury, and they were able to kind of nurse me back to health and kind of release me back into the wild. And they did an amazing job, and everybody was super friendly. I never went in there feeling like, I hope I don't get this person today, or I hope I don't get that person today. It was just whoever was there was awesome, and they just really just did an amazing and a very thorough job. And I was back on my feet, ready to go very quickly.
Yeah, she's got big plans, and she's a big sports fan, especially the Shore Football Report and the Shore Conference football. Loves it. She wants to get to know more people in other communities. Like you said, she's a good people person. She really is. So make sure you guys check out Accucare. The other big addition was Scott Stump. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I refuse to write. He loves to write. We're perfect together. And we got Scott Stump, coach. And back in the day when you started becoming a coach, I think he started when you first started, for the most part, Scott Stump. Tell me something about Scott Stump that maybe these players don't know about, because they don't know who he is. He's been away for a couple years. So what's your take on Scott Stump?
Well, Stumpy's another guy. He's another guy who just really loves shore sports. He loves covering shore sports. he likes going to games, and the fact that he has the talent um, to write stories about it, that just helps him kind of, earn a little bit of a living, or at least, put a little bit extra food on the table for himself and his family. So he's an amazing guy. Again, loves shore sports, and I am so I would when I heard that was going down for you, I was as happy as I was for you that was going down. I was happier for the kids in the short conference,
Yeah.
because it's the kind of guy he is. He just loves it. He eats it up. And he does an amazing job, and he's an amazing writer. So I think everybody's going to enjoy his articles and everything he has to say.
Oh, he's going 100% into it. He really is. He's excited. He got the itch when he was at the Old Shore Classic. So yeah, we got him when he's ready, and it'll be a big blessing for the players. They'll know who he is. They said they were calling him the mystery hire. He goes, they know me as the mystery hire. They don't even know me as a writer. He goes, I got something to prove. So he's excited, Coach. Now,
so it's funny. Quick story about Stumpy. Like, this is now, maybe 7-8 years ago, something like that. I bumped into to Stumpy in Asbury Park. So my wife and I were going to see one of those summer stage concerts at the Stone Pony, and we decided to grab a bite to eat at one of the local spots. And I ran into Stumpy, and we just started talking, and he just started talking short conference sports, baseball, basketball, football, what's going on, who's going where, who's going to what school. Like, he is just such a short conference sports junkie. It's unbelievable. So you couldn't have picked a better guy.
No, he's not faking it. He really does know a lot about the stuff. He does his research, and when he's not an opinionated person, but he has an opinion, and that's the thing. So you're going to get a good side from him, and he's an expert at what he does. He's good at what he does. Now, let's talk about someone else who's good at what he does, and that's you. That's you, Coach. Very interesting. People out there may not realize this. You've been a head coach for 22 years, not just 16 here at Brick Memorial, but you were a successful also offensive coordinator at Point Borough, but a successful head coach at baseball at Point Borough. And you won a state championship there in 2005, which is remarkable because you also won a state championship at Brick Memorial, too, as a football coach. Not too many people can say they won a state championship in two different sports. Coach, what is your take? How did baseball help you become a football coach in terms of with your program?
Well, I think getting the experience, and I certainly didn't use it as an experience piece, but it certainly helped me. I think maybe get the job initially because I was used to running a program. I had run a program for 6 years, so for a brand new football coach to already have experience running a program, even though it was a different sport, I think was a big advantage for me over people that maybe were going for a football job for the first time, like I was, but didn't have head coaching experience in another sport. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just feel like I had a little bit of background running a program, which was a big positive.
Well, you got to deal with people. You got fans, you got parents. You have a plan. People buying into it, and then it works or it doesn't work, and it worked for you. It really did. So, Coach, you were also leading the Point Borough football program with your calling the offense, which you got a great reputation running your stuff that you did, and they brought it to Brick Memorial. Smooth transition. I mean, it was such a smooth transition. You come to the Brick Memorial, but what was your take at Point Borough when you left there to come to Brick Memorial? Did you bring a lot of those same philosophies into Brick Memorial, or did you adjust a little bit?
Oh, I definitely adjusted. The thing I wanted to make sure I was doing what's best for Brick Memorial football, and not what was best for me. I'm not a smart man, but I'm smart enough to know that each school has their own culture, each school has their own traditions, their own makeup of kids, and I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything right for Brick Memorial and not what was best for me.
Good, that's awesome. And boy, you've made Brick Memorial a very, very competitive football program year in, year out. I love whatever you run offensively. You're going to be good at what you do. You're a detail guy. Always bounce things off you, especially with the RPOs that you're running. I loved how you get your athletes to second level. I just love that. And you would tell me what you do, and there's a rhyme and reason how you get those guys in there. After second level, it's on them, right?
100%. Awesome. Yeah, it's fun. All that RPO stuff is really fun. Since we went from being an under center option team to kind of a shotgun option team, It's really opened things up and made us a more a spread out attack. But we're still running option principles. We're counting in the same way we counted in the option game when we're under center, and we're trying to just attack different level guys instead of reading just D linemen or just linebackers. Sometimes it's inside backers, sometimes it's strong safeties. So our attack has kind of been exponentially increased as far as the options go.
Coach, I've known you for a long time, back when you were at Tom Ruiz, and I know you're an excellent teacher, and in the classroom and on the field. And there's no doubt, talking to your players through the years, that they can actually teach their offense to somebody else because the way you teach it, honestly.
Well, we try to keep things simple. I try to keep things simple because I think, for me, first of all, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, so I'm not going to be able to. I'm not trying to teach calculus because maybe I can do calculus, but I can't do calculus right this second. But my point is, I think that's the thing. You hit it on the head. You learn things best when you know how to teach it. So when our kids can teach each other and can communicate with each other, be like, this is what your job is on this play, or don't forget you got to do this on this play. Or when they start communicating with each other on that, then we as a staff know we've done a good job because, now the kids have not only bought into it, but they've learned it to the point where they can teach it. And that's when you've learned it the best.
All right, Coach, I'm going to whip that thing off. No more pods, no more COVID talk at all. I know you're sick of it. Everybody's sick of it, especially the kids. Now, you've been there 16 years. You got it going. But there was a big bump in the road. For 2 years, you had to adjust. And adjust in 1 year is okay. You had to adjust 2 years with all the COVID restrictions. Think of the seniors. The seniors have not had a normal offseason in 2 years. So their last time was after their freshman football season, where they were able to work out. They have not seen progressions of other classes showing them the ropes when they were underclassmen. So you now had to reteach your whole program back to normal. So I want to hear what a normal offseason is under your belt.
Well, we divide it basically into two parts. We have the off season, which is the winter and the spring, and then we have summer workouts, which is June and July. And the best move I made this past year was joining forces with Jamie Adams, who was one of our PE teachers, and he also was kind of a strength and conditioning coach informally for some other programs. And we kind of brought him on and kind of turned him loose on our football program and let him kind of run the whole thing. So the two of us were there on a daily basis. He ran the program, and he did an amazing job with the kids. Our kids had the best off season they've had since 2017 in terms of strength growth, which is really, really encouraging. Our kids bought into it. They really worked hard. They were constantly pushing each other, pushing themselves to get personal bests. A lot of excitement, a lot of energy in the weight room on a weekly basis. Coach Adams did a really great job. Our kids did a really great job. So how it looks, a picture of what it looks like is, we go Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesdays are off, or the kids can come in for an extra workout if they want to, or if they missed a day. So it's still open 5 days a week, and they come in 4 days a week. We divide it basically into push, pull, and legs, which pretty much everybody else, pretty standard for everybody else. And as we start out real simple with our movements, and then we graduate to more explosive movements. And basically, Coach Adams ran a program where the program can grow with you. So it's almost like one of those online math tutorials where if you get a question right, it bumps you to the next skill level. So it's kind of like that. And so he did a great job of developing that kind of program where if a kid is not ready to move on, then they don't move on. They don't move on from deadlifts into power cleans until they're ready. But when they're ready, they can move on. And kids are moving on as they're ready. It wasn't like, all right, as a football team, we're just going to deadlift for 3 months, and then we're all going to power clean for 3 months, and then we're all going to do this for 3 months. It was, it was great because it was individualized within the confines of the team concept. So he really did an amazing job, and our kids really bought into it and really did a great job of progressing very quickly. And like I said, we had our best off season since 2017.
What do you call it? Differentiate instruction.
Yeah, it's differentiated instruction in the weight room. It's exactly what it is.
It's basically what it is, Coach. You are a 100%, teacher.
100%.
You know what I like, Coach? First of all, I love the fact that you always like to get more people involved. You could not coach a sport where it was a um, individual sport. You like the team aspect of things, which baseball, football proved it. You got another guy, Coach Adams, involved,
Mhm.
and they heard a different voice doing it with the same philosophy that you have. That's got to
Sure.
be huge for you as a head coach. That now where you're barking about something else, it kind of hits them a different. It shocks them a little bit instead of you just doing everything yourself, right?
Yeah, there's definitely something to be said for that. I think that's very true. I also, I'm going to go back to something Bear Bryant said in his book. I don't know, whenever he wrote that 50 years ago,
Yeah,
or whenever that was, he said, never hire anybody that's not smarter than you. So, everybody that, Coach Adams is way smarter than me when it comes to strength and conditioning. So why wouldn't I do that? And that's how I feel about every guy on our staff. Like every guy on our staff knows more than me about their position. So, I kind of use that philosophy. If you're the head coach of your position,
yeah,
if you're the wide receivers coach, you're the head coach of the wide receivers. You're not
yeah.
just a wide receivers coach doing what the head coach tells you to do. So, I believe in that wholeheartedly, and that's our staff is filled with guys that are head coaches of their position. And Coach Adams is one of those guys that joined our staff last year, and he just did an awesome job.
And that's right. And the kids felt comfortable because they were moving at their pace, and
Yep,
they were goal oriented, and therefore they had something to look forward to. And it
that's
wasn't
right.
stagnant workouts. It was like
That's correct.
that's
It
awesome.
was constantly changing based on what level they were at. So once they reached, hey, if a kid came up to me and says, Coach, I'd love for my workout to vary a little bit. It's like, okay, well, here's what you need to do that. It not quite on a rubric system, but kind
Yeah,
of like that. Like you need to reach this level. When you
yeah.
reach this level, then we can change your workout to this. This is what you have to look forward to. And like I said, Coach Adams is the architect of that, and really did an amazing job.
Now I'm going to be asking your players a question later on, and
Mhm.
it's going to be about music. Is it your music or their music while you're working out? What kind of music do you guys listen to?
It depends on the day. It depends. It's whoever's first with the aux. So if I get it first, it's going to be metal and let's get after it. It's going to be Disturbed and Device and Five Finger Death Punch and that kind of stuff. Although once in a while they get surprised, I'll throw a little J Cole or a little Drake on there, and they're just like, "Coach, is this your playlist?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like that
Yeah.
stuff too." But if they beat me to it, or sometimes they'll be like, "Coach, can we put our stuff on because your stuff is kind of lame?" You know what I mean? So then I'm just like, "Yeah, play your stuff. Play your stuff." I just put stuff on when there's nothing else playing.
It's good to hear that you don't have the same kind of music as the players. I was getting nervous if you were saying you like their music. So
Well,
good.
I do. It's catchy. I'll tell you what. Here's what I'll say about the rap game now. The rap game is way better now than it was 10 years ago.
Oh yeah,
It's not mumble rap anymore. You can actually understand what they're saying. They have stories. There's, they're, I don't know. They're sharing things about,
yeah.
it's not just mumble rap where you can somehow like, I don't know, rhyme pecan with Volkswagen. I don't know how they would do that, but they found a way
You're
with mumble
definitely
rap.
adapting to the program in 16 years with all the different schemes you're putting in and music. It's incredible. That's how you survived, huh? What are you guys running offensively, defensively? Keep it quick.
So offensively, we are a multiple option team from the shotgun, and on defense, we're 4-3.
Nice. Nice. I like it. I'm always like the flavor of the year. Like, wait, what's Coach Currie doing? Is he under center? Is he in gun? Yeah, but he's in a pistol and he does things with the running backs. He shifts them over. But I like what it is. You always have something, and you don't have to tell me what it is, but you always have something that you kind of bring to the table. And I think that you just keep your guys honest, or you're doing it to your talent, right? Because you do base everything on your talent.
We do, we try to give our offensive linemen angles, and we try to base it on the talent of our skill kids, and with that combination, that's why you see a little diversity as you go through the years of our offense. Even when we were under center, we were flex bone. Sometimes we were a little bit of this, and other years we were a little bit more of that, and same thing in the gun. We're still running option concepts, and we're just kind of changing up what we do based on who we have.
This part I love doing. It's called the top position groups. Do a lot of research on all the programs. I dissected you guys. I could be wrong, but I'm usually not wrong. But here's what I got on you guys: offense, defense, special teams. I think it's important not to have just one stud at a position. I like to have more guys getting reps at the same position. I think that's a good unit. a unit, and you're a team guy, and I think you're going to relate to this. All right, I think the strength of your offense, and I want to talk offense first, is we all know about Connor Dietz. Connor Dietz is an all-short kid. He led the shore in a combination of yardage, passing, rushing, but he's got some toys. He's got some toys. And the unit I like is your receivers and your tight end. Here are the guys I like: Elijah Benjamin, Jeremiah Crispin, both seniors, Jason Whitaker, a junior, James Pop, a sophomore, and Mike Dayton, a senior. They're the receivers. And then your tight ends: Joe Nolan, a steady tight end senior. And then you have a freshman coming up that I keep hearing about, Trey Talmadge, a freshman as a tight end. You got some pieces, and I saw you in the 7-on-7, and I just felt like everybody was working together, and he's got some weapons, Connor, this year. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree 100%. You've obviously done your research. I mean, I think that's a very strong group
Yeah.
for us. Not only is it a strong group, it's well balanced and it's deep. Like you said, we have 5 receivers that play 3 spots. We have 2 tight ends, at least 2 tight ends. We might even have more that can play in that spot. So we have a lot of balance there. We have a lot of depth there, and that's only going to be good for our offense, and it's going to make Connor's job way easier. Last year as a sophomore, he didn't have a whole lot of chemistry with a lot of the receivers because it was such a quick turnaround as far as the preseason goes. But now that he's had an entire offseason to work with these guys, an entire preseason to work with these guys, all the summer workouts to work with these guys, the 7-on-7. So he's really developed the chemistry with all of his receivers, and that I think is going to pay dividends for us.
In your philosophy of your offense, I could see one game Benjamin having all these catches. The next game, Crispin might have all these catches. Maybe Nolan might be having all these yards after catch. Like, it's going to be spread out depending on the tilt of the defense and all that. That's a nice situation. Coach, defensively, I think your DBs are your strength. I do. You have Elijah Benjamin and Jeremiah Crispin at corner. Connor Dietz is a safety. He's an athlete back there. And then Anthony Chamber, another senior safety there. I saw you in 7-on-7. I thought you were very good defensive backfield. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think that's a good group. I think we're going to be pretty solid up front as well. We're going to be all seniors probably there. We're also going to be solid in the linebacking core. But I definitely think that our secondary is definitely our strength. They're definitely the most experienced guys we have on the field. And, they showed that 7-on-7 they can make some plays. Now we just got to make sure we prove it on the field.
Now, special team-wise, I think it's your returners. I don't know if too many teams are going to want to kick it deep. I think you got 3 dudes. I think you got Jeremiah Crispin, Elijah Benjamin, and then you have this sophomore, Kevin Andrews, who I saw working out. Boy, oh boy, you got 3 guys that could take it the distance. So maybe a little squid kicks might be happening first, you guys. But tell me something about those returners.
Well, I'll tell you what, they all bring a little bit something different to the table. Jeremiah returned a kick for a touchdown last year. And Elijah has had a couple of big returns last year, and Kevin is also an explosive runner in space. So, we're excited about those 3 guys being back there. And, we think if you do kick it deep to us, we're hoping that we can block some people and get, put our offense in a position where we can have an opportunity to score.
So how did I do?
You did well.
I did my research, huh?
Good research. You did phenomenal research.
Coach, tell me something about your returners, maybe underclassmen on the rise coming up. Just a little bit about your team.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, we alluded to it before. That Connor Dietz is, he had an unbelievable sophomore year. I mean, led the shore in total yards. To me, he's the best dual threat quarterback in the shore conference. I don't think he's getting the necessarily the publicity that he probably should be getting as far as his preseason rankings. But that's that's not going to bother him, and that's not going to bother me, and that's not going to bother our team, because we know ultimately preseason stuff doesn't matter, that you got to go out and perform on the field. And that's what he's excited about. That's what our team is excited about. That's what I'm excited about. As far as, other guys on the team, he has got a very good supporting cast. Mm-hmm. We've been talking about our skill kids a lot, but we also have a brand new offensive line and defensive line that are coming up from a combination of a 6-2 freshman team and an undefeated JV team. Now, I know Yeah, does that really matter for varsity? Does that always translate? No. But here's what I will say. It's something I said before. We had our best offseason as far as strength gains go since 2017, and our senior offensive and defensive linemen led the way in that. Guys like Jaden Rivera, Ben Woolley, Armando Vasquez, just in the weight room every single day. Rich Gardner, Eric Malillo, who's a junior lineman, Jordan Lazardi. Those are the kinds of guys that are really going to be the foundation of offensive line. We also say it starts up front, right? And it's going to start up front with our guys too. And we have probably 8 or 9 different guys right now who are fighting for those 5 spots and the 4 spots on the front on the defensive line. And they're all great kids, and they all work really, really hard. And I think that whoever ends up being the starters on both sides of the ball, I think are going to be quality, not just quality kids, because they're all quality kids already, but they're going to be quality football players. And that's, to me, people talk about Connor, and rightfully so. You've done your research, and you talked about some of our skill kids, and rightfully so. But if we're going to have a really successful year, it's going to come down to what we do up front. Mm-hmm. And those guys really came along in the off season, and I think the world of those kids, and I think they're going to have a nice season.
I like it. I like how excited you are. Your 16th season, and you're just as excited now as your first year there. New crop of guys, Coach. We all know you got some pieces, and youth too. You have youth, like you said, undefeated JV team, 6-2 freshmen with a couple key leaders back. It's a nice situation to have. It really is. I think
no doubt.
I think it's important.
Up front, we have some sophomores who are going to be fighting for spots too. So, we're in a good spot right now as far as that goes.
Yeah, I could tell in the tone of your voice in the off season, you had some pieces going. You had it the right way. So, Coach, thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
We will be on your sidelines for a couple of your games. Looking at your schedule, you got some big games, and that's a credit to you guys. You need anything, let me know. The Shore Football Report will be excited to watch Mustang football this season.
Sounds good. Thanks, Rob.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much, Coach. All right, now I'm going to talk to 3 outstanding football players from Brick Memorial, 2 seniors, 1 junior, but more importantly, better characters off the field. Is that true? Because that is right now your that's your scout report that you guys are good people off the field. Is there any truth to that? Yeah.
I would definitely.
I'm not buying it. Yeah. Eli, I'm not buying it. I'm only kidding. No.
I'm great. I'm great off the field.
No, I like it. So let me introduce you guys, and then let's get right into the 5 questions. All right. To the left, we have the outstanding junior quarterback safety, Connor Dietz. Connor, wave your hand. Good. To the right, we have an outstanding wide receiver, senior and corner, Elijah Benjamin. Eli. And last but not least, on the bottom, I was going to say wave, but you can't see him. But we have Jeremiah Crispin, another outstanding wide receiver, cornerback. Jeremiah, thanks for coming on the show.
No problem.
Awesome. So you got your 2 targets here, Connor.
Yeah.
Nice. Good. I'm excited. Well, I heard a lot of great things about you from Coach Currie through the weeks, not just today. And I'm excited to, see your personalities on our virtual Google Meet. You ready? 5 questions.
Go.
I need to know about your football program, and then I know everything about what I need to know for the coverage for this year. Are you ready? Are you nervous? You want to study? Do you want me to just give you the questions and overnight you study for them?
No, we're ready now.
They're tough questions right now. These questions I'm going to ask you would stop kids from getting into colleges. That's how tough they are. You ready? Here we go. Number 1, who's the funniest dude in your football program? This is the most important thing to me. Who's the funniest dude in the football program? We're going to start with you, Jeremiah. I want to hear some names.
Some names? Oh. It's a hard one.
Is it?
We got a lot of funny people on our team.
Do you?
I'll say Elijah's one of them, Connor, and we got also Jason.
Jason Whitaker?
Yes.
So it's all the receivers.
Yes, and our own quarterback.
Okay, the skill guys, 7-on-7. We're throwing a football and we're cracking jokes. Is that true, Connor?
I would definitely agree. Jeremiah is definitely not one of the funny ones, so he was smart leaving his name out. But I would probably say the same three guys are definitely up there.
Okay, good. So, Elijah, does Connor keep it loose with all the jokes when you're going your offensive drills and?
So sometimes he got a loose cannon. He just let some real random stuff go. But most of the time, it's just pretty funny stuff.
Now, does Coach Currie crack jokes too? Because he's pretty funny.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've known Coach Currie for many, many years, and he's a pretty funny dude. He really is. Good dude. There's nothing wrong with laughing, guys, when you're working hard. You're bonding and all that. I think it's good to laugh, and it kind of takes the pressure off of all that outside pressure that us coaches and players get all the time. Number two, who's the leader? Who sends out all the links and all the messages that the coaches want everybody to have to the football team? Who does it? Elijah.
It's probably I would say Connor.
Okay.
I would definitely say Connor's the one that really gives off everything that we need to know to just continue to be a great football program every day. So I definitely would say Connor.
Is that true, Connor?
Well, considering I'm the one that set up the time and made sure everybody was here except Jade,
Okay.
I take part in it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I hear you, Nat. I could definitely vouch for that. Jeremiah, who's the
Yes,
leader? Who sends things out?
I totally agree that Connor he plays a big role in the leadership, and he gets everybody in line and makes sure everybody's having a fun time and we all play good.
Good. Well, that is a big thing, being a leader, getting everybody to believe in you and follow your lead. Good. Three, getting back to normal. No more mask. How great was it this year? No more COVID restrictions. Jeremiah, how great was it to have an off season where you were back to normal?
Well, it felt pretty great because now we could have a bigger stance, enjoy the crowd, feel the intensity during our Friday night games. It's just and playing for the school, playing for the town. It's just great to play.
Great, Connor.
I would definitely say it's definitely back to normal to the point where you see somebody with a mask and trying to figure out why they're still wearing one. I had that question the other day on like, the guy's wearing a mask. It's weird. So it's definitely nice to be back to normal. Having a full off season was definitely nice for us, and yeah, I think it's gonna help us a lot.
All right, Elijah.
Yeah, just like what Connor said, just having a full off season, like getting back to like the normalcy of just like going there early, seeing everybody's faces, being able to be in like a room to watch film with each other is just back to normal.
This mask thing, my wife, she controls me. We always have to do these family pictures, and we had our mask on, and she makes me smile with a mask on. Can you see me smiling? She actually says she's telling me, she's like, Rob, smile. Like, what? Like, seriously. Thank God I don't have to. Those are the conversations I'm sick of having. No more masks. No more are you smiling or you're not. It's just crazy. But we're back to normal. 4, expectations. I know what the expectations are with Coach Currie and his staff, talking to them. Tell me what the expectations are with you guys. Elijah, we'll start with you. The football players. Tell me the expectations this year.
I think the expectation for us is just to continue to have that team bonding and remain 1-0. I think if we think too much forward, and we might get a little big headed. But if we remain 1-0 throughout the weeks, then I think we'll be a pretty good football team, pretty hard to beat.
It's the most pressure. You think about it. You're either going to be 1-0 or 0-1 game one. That's a huge difference. That's a huge difference. And that's the exciting part of opening day. Good part. Jeremiah, tell me something. What is the expectations with the players?
Well, the expectations we all have for each other it's high because we have trust in each other, and we expect one another to do their job right and stay in line and just have fun as long as all we play when we play good.
Awesome. Connor, expectations. Tell me.
I think my expectations for the season is definitely being one of the top contenders in the shore, and just being able to remain having fun throughout the weeks, whether we win or lose, and being able to keep our confidence up and not giving up on another is definitely my biggest expectation that I think we'll be able to do fairly well.
Yeah, you're right. And it's very important to stay intact as a team, regardless if the ball bounces one way or the other. It really does.
Yeah.
Last thing, gentlemen, fifth one, last one. Tell me why it is so special to be playing at Brick Memorial under Coach Currie. Under Coach Currie. So we're going to go with you, Connor. Tell me why is it so special to be playing Brick Memorial football under Coach Currie?
I would definitely say just the experience that he has, just the kind of person he is. He's a very energetic guy, has a lot of passion for the game, and playing under him is it's just a different feeling compared to any other coach I've ever played for. So it's definitely a good experience playing under him. Yeah, I wouldn't want to play under anyone else.
Great, Jeremiah.
I agree with Connor. Playing under Coach Currie is just has so much energy. It gets you hyped up, even before the games, for practice, anything, and the staff that is with him is great too because they have a lot of energy and they've also played at Brick Memorial, so it's great to have the Brick Memorial family all together.
Good point. Really is. Elijah, end it right here. Tell me why it's so special they playing for Coach Currie at Brick Memorial.
It's just like Connor said. It's like once you meet Coach Currie, he treats you like he's one of you're his own son. I mean, like even to his staff, like Jeremiah said, everybody treats each other like family. Like I can look at Coach Currie and tell him something that I wouldn't tell nobody else, or I can go to him for some advice, and he just makes me feel like it's home. Every time I walk in the locker room, I feel like I'm home under him. So I appreciate it. And I don't think I would ever want to play with another coach besides Coach Currie.
Well, hopefully you do want to play for another coach. It's called college, right? I would hope you're not bringing Coach Currie with you.
As of right now, Currie's down there.
You do know if you bring Coach Currie,
you can come with me.
If you bring Coach Currie with you, there'll be a lot of upset Brick Memorial people because he's gone. So let's keep him at Brick Memorial. All right. Let me tell you something about Coach Currie. Not only is he a good friend, I respect him. He's a good people person. He's a good communicator, a great storyteller. I don't know if did you ever hear any of his stories? He kind of keeps you going, and he's got these punchlines at the end. He really knows how to set it up. But he's a real detailed gentleman that cares about his program. He does. He cares about you guys big time, and he wants the best for you. And he's very protective. He's very protective. So I wouldn't want to do any wrong to Brick Memorial because I know Coach Currie would have everybody's backs at any time. Great guy, a winner on and off the field, and you guys are too. I appreciate you guys coming on the show. This will be out by tomorrow, and then we're gonna make sure. Are we gonna put the whole thing on Connor to spread the links out so everybody gets to click the YouTube and see how many votes or views you guys get on our show?
I can do that, yeah, for sure.
All right, you got to get. You got to get in the top 20 view count. I want to see you guys do it. All right, we'll see how much excitement you got. I appreciate it. It was great knowing you guys on here. You need anything? Let me know during the season. All right.
All right, thank you.
Go Brick Memorial.